this. I recorded a bloody 6 minute video on this, and I didn't have the bloody thing, the mic on. But I turned the mic off when I play the video so you don't get any background interference. But anyway, you've known that I've talked about these stings that happen, on these individuals who have an attraction to children. I've heard it be explained away before. Like these people who don't want to talk about any of this stuff that goes on in the world. They don't want to talk about it, so they try to explain it away. And in a way, they're kind of protecting these people by saying, well, that's a form of entrapment. You've heard this. I'm sure people out there have heard this or seen it, as an excuse to like try. It's because they don't want to acknowledge evil, man. They do not want to acknowledge that evil exists in this world. It's the weirdest fucking thing. But I've talked about them a few times, and when my awakening around all of that going on in the world, like I suppose I always kind of knew, but to see how rampant it was, like to gain knowledge of how rampant it was, and like looking up all the missing children per capita and all this, around the world. Like in the US, it was something like ridiculous, like 800,000 a year, which is like close to 2,000 a day. And seeing statistics like this, just it's kind of, you all know, it's one of the things that's really important to me, that I would love to rid the world. I would love to rid the world of this evilness. This particular one where they're targeting the children. It just really, I don't know, it's just so fucking wrong. And like, I feel like even it's a bit wrong to say, but especially when you have a child. Like, even that's a bit wrong to say. It shouldn't really matter if you have a child or not. But when you do have a child, it's like tenfold. It's tenfold. Anyone doing anything to my girl, anyone does anything to any child, it just, if anyone did anything to my child, I swear. But and to know how innocent they are, they're just children, just innocent children. So it takes pure evil to do harm to them. And I've told you before, like, there are some families out there, like back in the day, I'll tell you my experience. My mum never hit me once. My mother never hit me once. She just explained things to me, and I've taken that on board. Never hit my child once. She's never hit her once. We barely even have to raise our voice at her, And so I'd say a lot of like abuse towards children happens because of, a lot of people don't have patience. Like, a lot of people don't have patience. And their mind has been filled with all these sayings like, a child is best seen and not heard, these type of things. I often think, who said that first? Who said that first? And then drilled it into humanity, But I've been watching these videos, a good few. I watched thousands of them, and a lot of the ones out of England. And I noticed at the start, when I first started watching them, a lot of them were, white British males, 80% white British males, the rest 20% foreign. 2-3% were actually female, like females. Ugh. But anyway, now it's flipped. Now it's the opposite. I know that's not the case here with this. It's a trans person. I know it's not the case here with this trans person, but it is the case with a lot of them that they're, they're from a certain place in the Middle East, or just the East in general. They're from the East. Most of them are from the East. A few from like South America and stuff that are getting caught and getting caught on camera. Hence why I am comfortable saying where they're from, because they're on camera. But this one here, I've heard excuses before, right? I've heard excuses for this stuff by these individuals. Some of them do get ridiculous. Like, a lot of them say, one line they always go to is, "I was hacked." You know, no, me phone was hacked. You know, that's usually a lot of them go to that. Like the couple of times they've caught a few teachers. They've caught a few teachers actually, but they caught this one guy. So it's the more, the slightly more intelligent ones would jump to the straight to that, like, oh, yeah, my phone was hacked, or someone else was using my phone, some shit like this. But the hunters are plain and clear, where they ask them, "What age is this girl that you are texting?" The good majority of them very rarely say the right age, which is 13. A lot of them say 16, because in England it's 16. But it's 16 to legally consent or something. And this one here, this is by far the most bizarre reason I've ever heard. So you finally get to listen to it, and I'll stop babbling for 30 seconds. It's a short clip. You can see these full videos are all over Twitter, everywhere over Twitter.
What's that? What rumours have you heard?
Slightly going off subject as to why you were here, but Vladimir Putin is now threatening to nuke the whole of the United Kingdom.
Forget about that. Forget about that.
So
forget about that.
Forget
anyway.
about
that. I don't care about it.
So so Putin's going to blow up the UK, and this trans person says, so what does it matter in anyway? That's the fucking weirdest thing you've ever heard in your life. It is for me. It's the most bizarre excuse I've heard at one of these things. And anyway, I'll tell you that. Take that to the bank. But yeah, a trans one. Huh? I figure by speech and look that it's a bloke pretending to be a woman. Listen again. So you can probably will go back and listen to the original one. But let's do it again. Most ridiculous crap or spin. It just shows you how far the bloody propaganda around that has got into some people.
What's that? What rumours have you heard?
Slightly going off subject as to why you were here, but Vladimir Putin is now threatening to nuke the whole of the United Kingdom.
Forget about that. Forget about that.
So
forget about that.
Forget
anyway.
about
that. I don't care.
So his excuse for it was, for being out there meeting a child, was, sure, Putin's gonna blow up the UK, and then he said, what's it really matter, Just like live and let live type of thing. What the fuck? Sorry, I swear it a few times, but come on.